meeting of ENVISION South Fulton, South Fulton Development Authority meeting. It is 6 p.m. And Mr. Clerk, glad to have you back. Can you please call the roll?
Yes, good afternoon to everyone, all the directors and new members that we have on the meeting this evening. This is the roll call for tonight's meeting. The Honorable Mark Baker, Chairman.
Present.
The Honorable Quinn Bartlett, Vice Chair.
Present.
The Honorable Arnold Jiggetts, Secretary Treasurer. The Honorable Thant Coleman, Director.
Present.
The Honorable Walter Jordan, Director. Believe he's logging back in now. The Honorable Nathan Lewis, Director.
Present.
The Honorable Mercedes Miller, Director.
Present.
The Honorable Derek Pollard, Director. And the Honorable Rick Ross, Director.
Present.
And for the record, I believe we have Mr. Jiggetts
Present.
as well as Mr. Jordan.
Present.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much, Mr. Clerk. Really appreciate it. Please sound the first item.
First item is approval of the meeting agenda.
Before we take that, I would like to actually make a motion to amend the agenda, and I'll make the motion to amend the agenda to include a brief introduction and presentation from the City of South Fulton's new Director of Economic Development, Mr. I think Artie Jones, if he's on, as well as I would like to be able to introduce to everyone and allow a personal privilege to our newest director, Nathan Lewis, in that. Will someone please allow me a second to amend the agenda for that purpose?
I second that. Or you taking a motion? I make a motion that we amend the agenda as stated.
Second.
Oh, okay. I think I made the motion, so I just need a second.
A second. Third.
Okay, it's been probably moved in second. Any discussion? If not, Mr. Clerk, please do a roll call vote.
Roll call vote to amend the agenda as indicated by the chairman. Chairman Baker.
Aye.
Vice Chair Bartlett.
Yes.
Secretary Treasurer Jiggetts.
Yes.
Director Coleman.
Yes.
Director Jordan.
Aye.
Director Lewis.
Aye.
Director Miller.
Aye.
Director Pollard. I don't think he joined. Director Ross.
Aye.
That item is approved unanimously.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Please sound the next item.
Next item is approval of the April 25th, 2022 regular meeting Development Authority minutes, as well as the June 27th, 2022 regular meeting minutes of the Development Authority. And prior to receiving a motion, I would like to note a correction on the April 25th meeting minutes on page 2. It says March 6th at the top. It should be May 6th, Friday, May 6th, for the record.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to include the amendment from the clerk, as well as approve the regular those minutes.
I'll motion that we approve the minutes for the April meeting as well as the June meeting with the amendment.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Clerk, please.
Roll call vote to approve the indicated minutes as amended. Chairman Baker,
Aye.
Vice Chair Bartlett,
Yes.
Secretary Treasurer Jiggetts,
Yes.
Director Coleman,
Yes.
Director Jordan,
Aye.
Director Lewis,
Abstain.
Director Miller,
Aye.
and Director Ross.
Aye.
That item is approved. I believe 7-0-1, one abstention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Clerk. Please sign the next item.
Next item is public comment. And as of 5 p.m. this afternoon, we did not receive any comments for tonight's meeting.
Received, thanks. Please sign the next item.
Next item is the items that were added to the amended agenda. Mr. Chair, would you like to take the introduction of the new board member or Mr. Jones's introduction and presentation?
Let's flip them if you don't mind. We have a new board member, and I would like to allow Mr. Lewis to have an opportunity to share a little bit about himself, as he is our newest appointed member to the Development Authority. Mr. Lewis, it's a pleasure to have you on board. Do you mind?
Not a problem. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. My name is Nathan Lewis. Was born in Georgia, but been living in South Fulton since 2013. My wife's family's been here since she's grown up and grew up in this area. But my background is in investment banking. I used to work in Treasury in California, came back here and worked for a small investment bank. And today I own my own investment bank. We do public finance, corporate finance, sales and trading. And I'm just looking forward to working with all of you to see how we can make this city better and to bring my skills for the financial side and business development side to see what I could do to be of value. And I really am humbled to be part of this esteemed group. I'm looking forward to do whatever I can to be of value. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Director Lewis. And again, as I stated, it's a pleasure to have you on board. Anybody else, and I'm sure I said, our colleagues on the board share the same sentiments. Does anyone wanted to say anything directly to Director Lewis? You have the floor. Okay, I thought someone was chiming in. If not, thank you again, Director Lewis, and Mr. Clerk, please sign the next item.
Next item is introduction and presentation of the new Economic Development Director for the City of South Fulton, Mr. Artie Jones.
Hey, thank you, Corey. Thank you, Board, for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. As many of you know, I'm Artie Jones. I was with the City of College Park prior to coming on board with the City of South Fulton on May 18th. Been here 9 weeks now. I'm still coming back. I'm starting to bring pictures, put them up on the wall, so I guess I'm gonna stay for a while. I've been with City of College Park for 8.5 years, and prior to that, I've been in economic development since 2000. So I have a few years under my belt. I enjoy economic development. Always, when I started economic development in 2000, I told my boss at the time, the city manager, I said that I would do this for free if I had all the money in the world, just because I love doing it. And it's because I can actually affect people's lives positively. How I feel about economic development, and I've had a lengthy conversation with Chairman Mark Baker, is that I look at the least of the community, and I try to strengthen the weakest links. I believe in doing that. Everybody, all boats are going to float. All boats are going to rise. I'm the type of person that I work very intimately with developers and investors. If there are projects, I don't find ways to say, no, we can't do it. I try to find ways to make it work if it makes economic sense, if it makes good business sense. I'm here to watch out and to protect the community, to protect the taxpayers' assets, to identify economically underperforming areas and to make them stronger, to speak with the community, interface with the community, find out what their likes and dislikes are, and to try to do my best to be able to fill those voids in the community. Instead of the people of South Fulton, a city of over 86 square miles and 110,000 population, there should be no reason that anyone within this community should have to leave it to buy clothing, to go to nice restaurants, to leave the city for entertainment, to leave the community to work. There should be Class A office buildings here. There should be regular retail as well as high-end retail. There's no reason why we should take our tax dollars and spend them elsewhere. You know, I love the South Side. Like I said, I'm from Southeast Georgia. I'm married with 5 kids, ranging from age of 27 all the way down to 10. My youngest son just started school today. When I'm a part of the community, I'm a part of it. You know, I don't just work here in the community on the South Side. You know, I live here, I worship here. My kids are in sports here, dance, you know, the things that teenagers do. So, you know, I feel that I am a part of the community. I want what's best for the community. And even though I have a lot of knowledge of economic development, I continue to learn every day. I'm the first person to tell you if I make a mistake or not. I'd rather correct the mistake and move in the right direction, as opposed to take something that's being done the wrong way and to force it and make a bigger problem out of something that could have, you know, I could have addressed when it was a smaller problem. I look forward to working with everyone on this board, the South Fulton Development Authority. And I look forward to getting engaged with projects. Getting a thorough understanding, knowledge of the product that the city of South Fulton has available for the outside world. I look forward to helping to increase South Fulton's visibility for positive things, not just on the South Side, but within the state of Georgia. And I have an open door policy. I try to make myself available around the clock. And I really look forward to meeting with all of you individually to get to learn you and to try to make sure that the direction that I'm given is that I can collectively take all of that and to be able to bring back opportunities and projects and some great things to the city of South Fulton. I'm available. Well, I'll be quiet at this point, and I'm available for any questions that any of you might have.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jones. I will now open the floor for questions to you directly.
Good evening, Mr. Jones. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Mr. Jordan.
Good, good. You just said something that I've been preaching for a while now, that we should not have to leave this community to shop. We should not have to leave this community to go to Buckhead or Midtown to get something great to eat. And in my line of work, that's sort of what I bring to cities as well. What do you see your first order of business being? If you had to put everything in a tier, what's the most important to the least important? What would your first order of business be?
Well, my first order of business, I think, as an economic development director and in working with the South Fulton Development Authority, is number one, learning the community and learning the product. And when I say product, I mean the property, the major property owners, the various characteristics of the city, to find out what the community likes in certain areas, what they dislike in certain areas, to kind of learn what it is that I have. You have to learn what you have before you can sell it. And the second line is that I have to figure out those areas that are economically underperforming and those areas that have the most benefit of being able to perform the way they should. And the reason that I say that is that I'm quite sure that if I'm here over the next 5 years, that I'm going to bring some great projects to the city of South Fulton. If I'm here for the next 5 years, this is an example. But I don't think the entire community is ready to wait for 5 years to see the first project to come out of the ground. So what I will do is I will identify, number one, those projects that are the low-hanging fruit, to be able to bring back almost immediately some type of tangible proof of the positive things that are to come. And then I will also have those long-term goals that I'm going to work on at the same time. Instead of going out and shaking one hand a week, I'm going to go out and shake 10, 20, 30 hands a week. And eventually I'm going to be able to have deals coming out, out of the woodwork, left and right. Now, as it pertains to economic development, after you identify the area, your projects and the low-hanging fruit, then I have to get the tools, get those economic development tools, and I have to start to utilize them. You guys are like, the tool that you guys are a part of, the South Fulton Development Authority, is like new rope, in that it is a tool that can be utilized in so many different ways to attract development and also to build upon that foundation. What I want the South Fulton Development Authority Board, I want to be able to get this tool to be able to work, get it working the way that it should, to make it more streamlined, to bring more order to what you already have. I've never attended any of your meetings, so I can't tell you how your meetings have gone. I have not ever met with any of the developers that you guys have met with, because I have not been a part of that. But what is my job? My job is to go out, get the developers, make sure to try to develop as much as possible, provide that information to the board, the same information that I've seen, let you know what I feel that they're capable of, make recommendations to the board, let the board know the tools that I think that should be utilized to be able to move that development forward, get the highest return on city property or the investment that we put into these products, and then at the same time hold those developers accountable for doing what they're supposed to do within a specific period of time that this entire board agrees to. That's what my job is. My job is not to make the decision, but my job is to go out and get the development. If any developers approach any of you guys, in most cases, it's great to say, hi, how's everything going? You have something that you would like to bring here to the city of South Fulton? Hey, I have the person that you need to speak to. You need to speak to our economic development director. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask them for past projects that they've done, current projects that they're working on. I'm going to ask them about their financial capacity. I'm going to ask them about, how many jobs are they going to create? Ask them about how much is the total investment. How soon can you start to work on this project? Get all that stuff together, get a letter of intent from them, and get it in a format so that every time you get a letter of intent from me, it all looks the same. You know exactly where to look at whenever you're, looking at these different types of developments. And for you guys to make that decision, is this something that we want to get involved with? You might say, I like everything here, but I want to change this and this. And if that is the will of the board, I'll go back and renegotiate. Or we may even bring that developer to the meeting so that you could ask questions of them in real time. And then finally, we'll get to a point where we will execute some type of development agreement or some kind of letter of intent if they're acquiring property from the city of South Fulton and by way of the development authority to move those projects forward. I know I've said a whole lot, in a short period of time, but it's for me to try to make the job as easy as possible for you guys to be able to make solid decisions on the direction of the city, because you guys were appointed by the community to be a part of this board. And the tool that you guys have can affect people's lives for generations.
You couldn't have answered it any better. You didn't, you did more than enough and said more than enough. So that was amazing. Thank you for that clarity. Because that's where we are, wanting to get clarity on everything that we do. And you said a mouthful, so I greatly appreciate you answering my question.
All right, you're welcome. Now, this is the quietest I've heard Ms. Miller ever be. Mercedes?
Hey, Artie, for the rest of the board, I have worked with Artie in College Park, and I don't think we can have a better person fulfilling this job. So Artie, it's my understanding that when we do have developers that come to us, we have to turn them over to you so that you can vet them and then bring them back to the board for approval.
That would be the best way. And the reason that I say that is that sometimes I would say that 15% of developers want to do the right thing. And then you have the other 85% that are trying to invest as little as possible, but to get the highest return on their investment. It's for me to be able to identify if somebody is trying to shortchange us. I've seen developers that will, on the north side, anywhere north of I-20, and they will develop multifamily, and they'll invest about $180,000 per unit. And I'm sorry, they'll invest about $220,000 to $250,000 per unit in a 300-unit multifamily development. Then they come to the south side and they're investing about $180,000 per unit. Now, when you look at both developments, both of them look nice. They're brand new. They might both have pools. They might both have clubhouses. But then the amount of investment that they put on the north side, the type of materials, the finishes and everything else, it tends to last a lot longer. And after 5 or 10 years of the development that they've put on the south side, it begins to look tattered and worn out. Well, it's my job to be able to identify those developers and to make sure that they're giving us, they're investing the right amount of money in our community, and they're investing just like they would in any other area. In the communities that I've worked in, I've always focused a lot of my attention to the south side. Whenever I made the south side strong, everything else became stronger automatically. That's not to say that I'm not looking at developing other parts of the community. It's just that you have to make those weaker areas stronger. If you don't, those weaker areas are going to make problems for the rest of the rest of the community. And you guys pretty much probably know what I'm talking about. And those underserved areas, the ones that are not where the investment is the least, where people feel that there's not, they don't know what tomorrow is to bring. Those are the areas that you have most of the problems. Those are the areas that you have most of your law enforcement dollars being invested in those areas. My job is to simply take like I said, properties that are economically underperforming and to bring them up to par. When I bring them up to par, there's more tax dollars, and those tax dollars are reinvested into law enforcement, better roads, better sidewalks, better, better homes, and a better quality of life for everyone.
Artie, one last question. How large is your staff?
My staff right now, I have 2 people. One person is responsible for the Red Oak District, which is a main street, and the other is that's Caitlin, and then Caitlin King, and then I have Teresa Parnham, who is responsible for the Old National District area, which is the larger of the 2. And then I have one that I'm trying to hire for now. It's going to be a coordinator position. It's more so of an executive assistant, a person to kind of coordinate at the base while everyone else is out in the field doing what we do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else in the queue? Mr. Clerk?
I do
Anybody
not
else?
see anyone. I do not see anyone with their hand raised. No.
Chairman?
Yes. You
Yes,
have the
this is
floor, Madam
Attorney
Attorney.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell the directors that through my work with College Park as well as the College Park Development Authority, I've been able to personally witness Artie Jones since at least 2013. So that's going on at least a decade. And I can tell you that you are in great hands. His work and every experience that I've seen and encountered has been phenomenal.
Well, thank you, Amelia. I'll give you the $20 bill later.
No problem, Artie. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Chair, my hand is raised.
Is that Director Jiggetts?
Yes, sir.
You're not coming in clear, but you have the floor if you can kind of self-correct.
I'll yield if I'm not clear.
I mean, we heard that pretty well, so take a shot.
I get off of mute, sorry. So I just wanted to welcome Mr. Jones to the team. I'm excited about working with you. I am familiar with your work in the city of College Park, or some of it, not all of it, but I'm hugely excited, and I can't wait to work with you. Simple.
Well, great. Look forward to working with you also. It's
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You have the floor, Mr. Coleman.
No, I was just saying that it was I've learned, like I said, I've only been here 9 weeks now, but I've learned a tremendous amount. You know, the city of South Fulton is in my opinion, in a better position than the city of College Park, in that a lot of your property is not developed, but there is infrastructure all around most of the community. It's easier to develop a greenfield than it is to redevelop property that's already been developed. Less expensive, and in most cases, work can move faster. Also, the incomes in South Fulton are a great bit higher than it is in the city of College Park, which provides me with the ability to be able to attract the higher end retail to the community. What I think that the city of South Fulton has lacked, and I should say the city, unincorporated Fulton County, prior to it becoming South Fulton, it has lacked kind of a vision. Unincorporated Fulton County, prior to it becoming a city, it was kind of a bedroom community to Atlanta and the surrounding cities. Anytime anybody wanted to, like I said, be entertained, fine dining, things of that nature, they had to go outside the community to do it. I guess back in 2016, when the city was actually, set up, the citizens said, we're, tired of being under the county and we want to have more control over our destiny for law enforcement, where our tax dollars are being spent, and to have, more of a voice on what goes on the South Side. So as a result of that, I know that some of the board members, as well as some people in the communities, feel that, well, economic development is just not coming here fast enough. It's not coming here fast enough in the city of South Fulton. Well, you guys have to understand, the community has to understand, is that you guys are 5 years old, just beyond a toddler. If you think of all the things that you learned since you've been on this earth, you probably absorbed more between birth and 5 years old than you learned from 5 until 20 years of age. With the learning that you guys have done, and you're trying to compare yourself to the other cities, there's no comparison. Some of those cities have been around for at least 100 years, 150 years. I feel that over the next 5 years, you're going to see a tremendous amount of growth also. You learned a lot within your first 5 years, but then in the next 5 years, you're going to be able to apply a lot of what you've learned. One thing that I would say is that we have to do as a community is that we have to get along politically, number one, and we have to agree upon things and not put our, business out on the streets. We have to work together, even though we may not see eye to eye on all things. When a decision is made, we have to move forward with that decision and do what's in the best interest of the community, even though I may not have received the votes. The city of South Fulton has a tremendous opportunity to be a game-changing city. I feel that the city of South Fulton can be the type of city that other communities will come and tour our community to find out, well, how did you guys do it right? How did you overcome these various things? I feel that the city of South Fulton can be that. And I know that working with you guys, and once I've had an opportunity to kind of, talk to you about your backgrounds and everything, I'm quite sure that we all can work together quite well in being able to identify the best ways to move forward. In the month and late September or early October timeframe, I'm looking to try to have some type of strategic planning session with the South Fulton Development Authority, and I'll be talking with the chairman and working out, trying to work out a day, preferably a Thursday, that we can have an all-day planning session. And prior to that all-day planning session, you guys would receive questionnaires from a facilitator to be able to address questions before we would start the all-day session. And then we would put together a strategy that would be a strategy that we would be able to facilitate over the next 3 years. I feel that that's very important to get us, to get us in a position where we actually identify what we need to do and we do it, and we have a checklist every single month as we go throughout these board meetings, and we identify those things that we're actually addressing, and we're moving closer and closer to our goals and even accomplishing goals. I feel that that's very important. Once we get there, we become a fine oiled machine, and we become a high performing machine, and then the community really starts to see all the positive things that's coming from out of our, from the development authority in our community. I'm done, Dr. Baker.
Yes, thank you. Anyone else have any questions or any comments for Mr. Jones while we have him? I would like to say thank you so much, Artie, for coming, and I really appreciate it. I do see this as a well-deserved turning point for our city, for just the people and business in the city in general. I look forward to working with you and deferring things to you, and continuing to duck walk until you teach us how to karate kick. So I just appreciate everything that you bring and all of your expertise, as well as, I told you way before we met that, your reputation preceded you in a positive fashion. And, I couldn't ask for a better individual to work with, especially after, our meeting, and me learning, even more about you personally, man. I'm just excited for what can come from this body for the city moving forward. And I would like to say thank you directly for taking the time out of your schedule to attend this meeting and work with us. And I look forward to that session on a Thursday, and, we'll coordinate, and, I will make sure that I'm available regarding that strategy session. And I think Director Pollard wasn't able to be in. I do have to share his sentiments about, how he looks forward to meeting you personally as well. He may have some ideas or opportunities that he'll reach to you directly about in the near future. I think he was having some issue. I don't know. as far as speaking directly to you. But thank you again. And Mr. Clerk, you can sign the next item.
Yes, sir. We're at the item number 6 on the agenda, executive session if necessary.
Okay, Madam Attorney, you have anything for us?
I don't have anything, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. If we don't have anything for personnel litigation or real estate at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion that we adjourn.
Is there a second?
I second.
It's been probably moved in second. Any discussion?
Yes, Chairman, Dr. Marbaker. We've had several items on the agenda and on the minutes, rather, let me say that. We spoke about a future retreat with Mr. Jones, who's newly appointed, and the city manager. We've also spoken about what we should undertake for the rest of the year, if there's a project that we should take on for the rest of the year. Has any of those items been identified yet?
Well, to answer you directly, we just entered into in the last meeting, I don't know if you were present, but the IGA, the intergovernmental agreement with the city of South Fulton. And, you know, I would like to pause in my response to welcome back our clerk, Mr. Corey Adams, and Yusuf Otway, and as well as Artie Jones. So we're looking forward to now moving forward with our relationship with the city. The city had paused that relationship until we actually voted to execute the IGA. So, I mean, in upcoming meetings, and if you would like to reach out to me directly offline to add some of those things to the agenda, you know, we'll come back once we recalibrate and you know, make dates and move forward in that fashion. With the help of Artie Jones too.
Gotcha. Thank you for that.
No problem. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, Mr. Clerk, for adjournment.
Roll call vote to adjourn. Chairman Baker.
Aye.
Vice Chair Bartlett.
Yes.
Secretary Treasurer Jiggetts.
Aye.
Director Coleman.
Yes.
Director Jordan.
Aye.
Director Lewis.
Aye.
Director Miller.
Aye.
Director Ross.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 6:38 p.m. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you so much for attending. You guys be safe. Take care.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone.